Logging devices connect to an engine and record when it's running. Congress passed the MAP-21 Act back in 2012, and it was signed into law by President Obama. 2 years was given for drivers to comply and prepare for the mandate. Compliance became mandatory in December 18, 2017. Yet still, if an operator is using an automatic onboard recording device, then they have until December 16th of 2019 before they must comply with the mandate.
Mary, your information is 100% correct. For 80 years now, we have been monitoring the amount of hours a commercial driver can drive in a given time period. Drivers are allotted 11 hours of drive time each day, with 3 hours of non-driving time that can be used for servicing their vehicle or loading and unloading. The other 10 hours must be used for sleep or resting. A driver must also adhere to the 70-hour and a 7-day rule. None of these rules are new. They have been in place for many years. We are just simply automating the way the hours are recorded by implementing the electronic logging devices. With these devices connected to a vehicle's engine, it will make it so much easier and faster to accurately track, manage, and share records of duty status data. The old paper logs had to be manually entered into our systems, whereas these new electronic logging devices automatically record the data.
Ms. Coppett, do you honestly believe that this new electronic logging device mandate is going to benefit the trucking industry? Or is this just another attempt to add regulations to our nation's commercial vehicle drivers?
Cutting down the time it takes to monitor the driver's log would only benefit the company he or she works for. Not to mention, it will be remarkably more accurate. On top of that, it will help create a safer work environment for drivers and safer roads in general for motor vehicle operators. There is not one doubt in my mind that these new ELDs are good for the trucking industry. And commercial drivers and fleet owners have had many months to prepare for the implement of these ELDs.
But what about my livestock? Is it going to make it safer for them?
We're not sure the effects on your livestock yet, but they should be minimal. This new ELD mandate does not change any of the basic hours of service rules or exemptions. Drivers still get 14 hours of on-duty time each day, which 11 hours is still available for driving. These daily limits were made to ensure that drivers are getting plenty of sleep each day, in hopes that sleep-related fatalities would drop across America's highways.
According to the Missouri Highway Patrol, there were over 4,500 crashes involving commercial motor vehicles in Missouri in 2017. During that same year, there were over 7,000 hours of service violations. With ELDs, drivers will not have the ability to falsify their logs. When a driver and a company are held more accountable, these violations will decrease. I cannot give you an exact number of lives these devices might save in Missouri. However, all of the data tells us that they are going to make Missouri roads and the Missourians that use them each day much safer.
Emma, I know Opie's has had these devices in their trucks for a while now. Can you please give us your insight about how they are affecting you?
I have been a dispatcher at Opie's Transport for about 11 years now. We are headquartered in Elden, Missouri, but also have a satellite terminal here in Memphis, Tennessee. With nearly 100 trucks that specialize in liquid food-grade transportation, our focus is providing a safe and reliable product for our customers, as well as a secure future for our drivers. Our company began implementing the ELDs soon after the mandate came out. Today, all of our trucks are equipped with them. I will admit that it was a change, and a big change. Some of our drivers hate them, but the majority of them don't want them at all. In fact, by forcing them to strictly adhere to the hours of service rule, our drivers have openly stated that they are less tired behind the wheel. As a dispatcher, I truly appreciate them because from the management standpoint, they have made record keeping so much more efficient. Our company values customer satisfaction, and that has not been affected at all. Customers still see the same great quality as before. The only real downfall was the cost to put them on our trucks.
How much exactly did they cost?
Depending on the system, there was some variance between $500 and $1,500 to put them on our trucks.
With all due respect, I don't really care about how this bill affects the liquid food industry. Customers of the hundreds of livestock markets across our nation aren't hauling liquid food, and they aren't hauling potato chips either. They're hauling live animals. Whether it be cattle, hogs, sheep, or even goats, it is the job of our haulers to get the animals
to their destination as quickly and as safely as possible. Depending on the buyer, many of the animals that leave livestock markets are trucked hundreds of miles to get to their destination. Whether it be a processing plant or just a different farm, the livestock will be standing on a trailer, oftentimes with little room to move. Forcing them to stay on these trailers any longer is frankly inhumane, not to mention the effects the extra stress might cause on the quality of the meat. This mandate may be great for many companies, but frankly, the livestock industry wasn't even considered while making this decision. And you must get the representative to take action to change it. The various livestock industries across our country depend on it.
Rules are rules, and they must be followed. I love a good steak as much as anyone, but these rules are put into place for the safety of everyone. Just because you're hauling livestock doesn't mean that you should be able to drive for as long as you want to. I mean, heck, if we're going to get rid of the hours of service rule, we might as well remove speed limits too. I have answered calls in the middle of the night where a trucker got tired, ran off the road, tearing up a guardrail, and then spilling his freight all over the highway. Luckily, in my experience, I've never had to call a family member and tell them that a loved one's been lost because of 18-wheeler decided that getting to their destination was more important than sleeping. That's a call that I don't ever want to make. God willing, and with the help of these devices, I won't have to. My belief is that these electronic logging devices will keep our roads safe and drastically reduce commercial vehicle accidents.
Safety is important to us. As agriculturalists, we know that safety is one of the most important parts of our jobs. And to argue that livestock producers are only thinking of themselves and not the general public is ridiculous. We know all about making sacrifices, each and every day, to make sure that the general public is a safe and reliable food source. But we also know we must consider the safety of our livestock. This mandate brings up many safety concerns for our livestock, and the farmers across this nation work way too hard for that. Electronic logging devices may help many commercial fleets track their hours of service, and they may keep our roadways safer. However, they're going to kill livestock producers.
You all are overreacting. There are exemptions in this mandate made for agriculturalists. We already gave you an extra 90-day window to comply with this rule. We also made a 150 air mile radius exemption that allows you to stay inside that zone and not even have an ELD on your trucks. We are being very fair to agriculturalists. It's just pretty obvious it's your guys' beliefs that the rules shouldn't apply to you.
My family has operated our farm in Miller County for the past 30 years. We raised over 6,000 hogs and over 400 head of cattle. We finish out all of our market animals, and when it's time to get them to their final destination, we rely on Christopher Bledsoe, a neighbor of ours who owns 2 trucks to get them there. There aren't a lot of processing plants in the Midwest, so we have to send our hogs down to Delhart, Texas, and most of our calves head out to Greeley, Colorado, or down to a smaller plant in Alabama. These destinations don't exactly fall within your 150-mile radius, and even in perfect conditions, they rarely make it to the plant within 11 hours of driving. So for Chris and Cody to have to spend a whole extra day to get them to the market, it is going to cost my family a lot of money. It is going to cause the livestock to spend many extra hours on the trailer, which means additional shrinkage and more loss of income for my family.
Talking with other companies, I know that some of them have sent 2 drivers in the same truck. This allows for the second to take over when the first runs out of driving time.
That would be feasible in larger companies, but not with smaller independent companies like the Bledsoes. Forcing both Chris and Cody to be in the same truck is going to cut their productivity in half. They simply cannot afford that. Forcing them to comply with this mandate is going to put them out of business. They've told me this since this mandate first came out. As a producer, it has me very worried. I just don't know what my family will do.
This mandate cannot be a one-size-fits-all. Livestock haulers need additional exemptions. One simple change is to let them count the time they spend when you can unload or load at sleeper time. Drivers often spend a lot of time, sometimes even hours, waiting for livestock to be loaded and unloaded. Right now, that would be counted as drive time. That time could be the difference between reaching their destination without having to call it a day. Ms. George, I strongly urge you to speak to your representative and have him fight for this type of exemption.
Kelsey is right. A small change like that would make a huge difference for our industry. But at the end of the day, we have to get our livestock to its destination, and our drivers should not be penalized for putting forth the extra effort to keep our supermarket shelves stocked. I believe there has to be an outright exemption from this mandate for livestock haulers. Please, help us accomplish that.
Look, Mary, back in 2012, when Congress and the Obama administration asked us to develop the rules to integrate these new electronic logging devices, we did the best way we knew how. We gave ample amount of time to get these devices on trucks across the country. We also made special exemptions to protect smaller operations and those who stay close to home. The rules that are currently in place are not only going to make roadways safer, but data recording vastly more efficient. Any more rules or alterations made to this new mandate would be a disservice to the American people.
Well, this issue is much deeper than I originally thought. Although it initially reads as a financial issue, it seems that there are more than just dollars to consider here. As I understand it, the livestock industry believes that there should be additional exemptions made to keep their animals safe and their haulers profitable. I will tell you that as a farmer himself, the representative is always trying to fight for agriculture when he can. However, the FMCSA does make a strong point about driver safety and efficiency of the new system, and the representative values safety of all of his constituents and must make decisions that benefit his district as a whole. With that said, I will convey to him all of the information that is discussed here today, and I assure you he will make the best decision for Missouri's 3rd District. Thank you again for being here today, and it was a pleasure to meet each and every one of you.